Stock-based businesses such as retailers and wholesalers have a unique challenge when it comes to striking a balance between their stock levels and their cash flow. If they're not able to deliver products quick enough to their customers, they simply won't make sales. But at the same time, if they hold stock for too long or hold too much of it, then this will put a pressure on their cash flow and could ultimately result in the business going bust. Now, small businesses in particular tend to fall into the trap of being petrified of missing out on customer sales, and therefore they tend to hold more stock than is strictly necessary to make their business successful. Not only does this put immediate pressure on their cash flow on a day-to-day basis, but it also stunts their growth because there is far less cash available for investments and revenue generating spend such as marketing. So if you are a stock-based business, make sure you are doing these 5 things to give you the best chance of running a successful and profitable cash flow rich business. So my first tip is to always try and build a partnership relationship with your suppliers and to not always pick your supplier based on the price alone. So in supply chain, the relationship is key, and so that's why building a long-term partnership tends to mean that in the long term, your products actually end up cheaper. So when you have a long-term partnership with your supplier and you're not just simply spot buying from the cheapest supplier at the time, then you tend to find that they are more open to offering you things such as discounts and rebates, as well as offering you better payment terms and possibly also the opportunity for consignment stock, which is where you actually don't pay for the stock until you've sold it, and even things like free returns and stock cleanse agreements. So if you're just simply surfing the internet or going onto multiple suppliers' websites to find the cheapest product at the time that you need to order it, then you're never going to build up this long-term relationship with your suppliers and get access to all of these really beneficial things. So although in the short term you might pay higher prices, in the long term having access to really good payment terms and also free returns, warranties, things like that, I would always recommend building long-term relationships with your suppliers. So my second tip is to know your stock metrics. So to enable you to make smart decisions about what stock you should and shouldn't be holding in your business and when you need to reorder, you need to know what's going on like the back of your hand. So metrics such as your stock turns, your min-max levels, your sales history, what your slow movers and your fast movers are, and even how much profit and margin you're making per product is really essential for you to be able to make smart decisions. Now, the good thing is it's 2023 and there are plenty of very inexpensive software packages out there that can help you. In fact, some of the well-known finance systems such as Xero even have a built-in module for this. And there are also some methods such as the 80/20 inventory management method or the ABC method that you could deploy in your business too. But probably for small businesses, I would recommend that you don't move towards using one of these more traditional inventory management systems and that you're just simply on top of your numbers on a regular basis. You're reviewing your metrics on a regular basis and you're making smart decisions. So my third tip that will actually help to reduce your inventory levels without impacting your sales is to really understand what products your customers are buying and why they are buying it. So when your customer purchases product A from you over product B, for example, what is the pain point that the customer is experiencing and what service do they need from you? For example, if you are a car parts delivery company and you're delivering to mechanics and car garages, then the mechanic doesn't want to have to wait days or even weeks for products to be delivered, and therefore holding high stock levels so that the mechanic can pick up the phone to you on Monday and have a product delivered the same day or the next day is incredibly important. Therefore, your customers are buying from you based on urgency and you're likely to need to hold higher stock levels. But if, for example, you are a wholesale to hairdressers and you are selling maybe hair extensions, then often these customers will be booked in days, if not weeks in advance. And therefore the lead time that you have to enable you to deliver that product to your customer is much longer. And therefore for these types of products where there's no urgency, back-to-back ordering or even drop shipping could be a really good opportunity for you to decrease your stock levels because you just simply may not need to hold this stock. So really have a look at why your customer is buying different products from you and try and categorize them between urgent purchases and non-urgent purchases. And where your customer is buying non-urgent purchases from you, really scrutinize yourself and ask, do you need to hold this in stock, or could you be ordering it back to back once your customer has ordered from you? So my fourth tip for helping to manage your inventory levels and protect your cash flow is to know your inventory days. Now, your inventory days is a calculation that tells you on average how long a product stays in stock for before you sell it. So when you do this calculation, if you have, for example, inventory days of 45 days, that's telling you that you are holding something in stock for 45 days on average before you're selling it. So there is no black and white rule for different industries as to what you should aim for in terms of a target number of inventory days. That really will depend on your customer base, the products that you're selling, and the industry and marketplace that you work in. But what is really important is that you know the inventory days and that you're tracking this on a regular basis, ideally weekly, but at the very least monthly, so that you're spotting trends. Because if your inventory days is ticking upwards, then this will put pressure on your cash flow. But also, what is often overlooked by businesses when they're thinking about the inventory days is the cost of actually holding this stock in the warehouse. The more stock you have, the bigger warehouse you need. And the more stock you have, the more risk there is that something will become damaged or even become obsolete and you'll need to dispose of it. So knowing your inventory days is really crucial to being able to manage your inventory. And whilst it's not always desirable to drive your inventory days as low as is possible, it is important that this isn't ticking upwards and that you do have constant measures and actions in place to keep the inventory days as low as is relevant for your business. Now, my final tip for striking the right balance between inventory and cash flow for stock businesses is to not dedicate more than 20% of your stock at any one time to new product lines or customers or initiatives. And it can be really tempting, particularly in retail businesses, to take on a new product line and put lots of money into it and promote it and push it. But by limiting yourself to a maximum of 20% of your inventory at any one time, then this will really help to ensure that firstly, you've got focus and you're only taking on extra stock when you're doing marketing activities and promoting new products or trying to gain new customers. But it also protects you from having too much cash tied up in what is essentially a more risky element of your business because you're trialing something new. So if you found these tips helpful, then make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this on how to manage the finances in your business. And if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below, and don't forget to join my Facebook group for businesses that want to grow.